Welcome back. We continue live here on Pittsburgh CW. Bob Pompeani, Paul Zeise, joined by Nick in Wexford. Hey, Nick, go ahead.
Hi, how you doing, guys?
Good. What's up?
Le'Veon Bell. You think the other team, I mean, they seem to lay back and wait for him instead of trying to penetrate the line, and they just seem to, he just doesn't seem to get where he used to get to.
Yeah, the averages are not all that good compared to last year. I'm not sure the reason. Paul, what do you have a theory on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a combination of a lot of things, and I also think the offensive line has not had a great season. I mean, they've been, they've had a couple of injuries and whatnot, but if you watch the offensive line, they haven't been getting a lot of push. They haven't been great at protecting the passer, and they haven't given up a ton of sacks, but they have, they just have not had a great season. That's a big part of it. But I think Le'Veon Bell has got to get back to playing, and running the ball the way he can.
And last week, Jacksonville is a very good defense, and the Steeler offensive line could not get to the second level, which they had done before, and they were not getting there, so there was a lot of good penetration by that Jacksonville. If they had a legit quarterback and Bortles didn't really impact that game, they would be a really good team. Mark is on line one. Hey, Mark, how you doing?
Bob, how are you tonight?
Good, thanks.
All right, Bob, a little question about James Franklin. Two, actually. Number one, for him to command $6 million a year, I know he's not going to turn it down, but what has he done in life to get that type of salary? And number two, how come no one ever talks about that situation up at Penn State, which happened under Sandusky? James Franklin, under his watch at Vanderbilt, wasn't there a situation where
we've talked about that.
Were involved in a gang rape of a girl?
We've talked about that over and over again, and quite frankly, we spent too much time then on it because it went on for months and months and months. And listen, you asked the question, $6 million, what did he do? Well, he took his team from a terrible start, one that put him on the hot seat as a coach, to winning the Big Ten and almost winning a Rose Bowl, and they could have been in the playoff. That's what he did to deserve it. I still think it was a little too soon. I would have waited, but I understand why they did it, Paul.
Irrational and blind hatred is just so silly. Listen, James Franklin's doing a great job at Penn State. He's recruited well. They know that he's got the program rolling. They want to be preemptive. He's earned his money. He's done a good job. It's not that hard to admit that if you're a Pitt fan.
No.
If you're a Penn State fan, it's not that hard to admit that Pat Narduzzi's recruited well. He's got a young team. They're getting better a little bit each week, and probably next year they're going to be pretty good, and all this conversation will sound really silly. It's not that hard to admit that on both sides.
Ken, line two, you're on the air. Hey, Ken, welcome to Sports Call.
Hey, hi guys. How's everything going?
Good, you?
Just like to make a comment on Penn State and what's going on with the college football. With Clemson losing tonight, Penn State should be number 2. Great for them. But their schedule was 117th in the country. The easiest schedule in the country. And I don't see how they can get so excited. Their tough schedule's coming up now. And I think they're going to lose 2 out of the next 3 games. Thanks.
All right. Paul, your take on that.
Who cares? If they play these next 3 games and win, they're going to win the Big Ten East. I will say this, Bob. Everybody thinks that the team from the East is going to win. The Wisconsin team is pretty good. So
that's a very good team,
I'm not saying that Wisconsin's going to beat Ohio State or Penn State or whoever else, but that Wisconsin team is pretty good.
Let's go to Mike real quick on line 5. Mike, how are you? Go ahead.
Hey, how you doing, gentlemen?
Good.
Hey, thanks for taking my call again. Hey, I want to touch on Penn State and Pitt. Penn State is doing great, but I think Pitt's on their way back. I'm going to ask you something. Recently, with all those coaching changes at Pitt that went on, do you think that affected their recruiting coming in? Because they missed out on a big-time quarterback out there. And was that Pine Richmond?
Well, Djokovic was going to go to Notre Dame no matter what. I don't think there's any question that he had made up his mind. He was wearing their colors. He was talking about them long before, Paul.
Since he was about 5 or 6 years old. I mean, that was the worst kept secret in America.
We'll take a break, come back right after this.